Hello out there. Welcome back to Burgers and Fries. Now you have to excuse me. I'm not sick. I just have a very hoarse voice because of the jobs that I do in real life that require me to do public speaking and yelling across large open air areas. So you're just going to have to deal with a hoarse voice for me. And in case you're not sure if I am actually hoarse, just try talking in a really high-pitched voice like this. And that should be proof enough that my voice is just hoarse. So I'm just going to have to sound this way. So gentlemen, are you going to be okay with that?
Fine with me.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
There you go. So now for once, I sound lower than Greg. So that works.
Works for me too, I guess.
Okay. So this is, of course, a hot button issue. As of this recording, all right, we are basically days away from the 2022 midterm elections. Now, why do you suppose, gentlemen, that this is an actual important thing to be talking about? And why is a lot of attention being paid towards it? What do you think?
Because of everything going on in the country, like the inflation, the prices being raised, and everything like that. It's gonna be interesting what's gonna happen next couple years or so like that.
And as well as crimes are going up, even the state I'm living in Minnesota, everyone's getting really sick and tired of the governor, Tim Walz, and all that. There was some commercial I saw where there were about 60 million people that were shot last year in my state.
16 million people shot in Minnesota last year?
Yeah.
16 million. Do you even have that many people in Minnesota?
Well, it was happening around the Minneapolis area.
Buddy, okay, I don't even think 3 million people live in Minneapolis. 16 million people shot in Minnesota?
Well, it was from a commercial I saw.
Maybe the commercial was bullshit. It's like, that doesn't seem to add up. But I mean, again, I don't want to say that you're wrong, Greg, but Greg, you have a state population of maybe 5 to 6 million. How the hell do you get 16 million people shot in one year in Minnesota? There's got to be some other stat that's coming up because you don't even have 16 million people in the state. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's like it's easy to just Google the state population. But okay, but you're right. People are dealing with. They're sick of the crime rates going. They're sick of the job markets going with the way they are.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Yes.
Tony, are you happy with the presidential administration?
Yes and no. I like some of the things they did, like raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour. I like that because no one should live in poverty. But the thing they don't like are raising the gas prices, defunding the police, and this safety law that's happened in like Chicago and all that stuff, where it's gonna get rid of money bails for criminals and stuff, because it's just gonna cause more and more crimes throughout the country, and no one will be safe.
Why did you vote for Biden?
Because I didn't like Trump. That's why.
That was your only reason?
A lot of reasons why, but I don't want to say all the reasons.
Go ahead, dude. This is an open discussion.
I didn't like Trump because, he pretty much brainwashed a lot of people into believing that he was doing the right thing and everything like that.
Like all politicians do.
And how he kept complaining about every little thing and just that he didn't even feel like a president. He was a corrupt businessman that was brainwashing people and everything like that. I mean, when Joe
Biden... but then you're talking corrupt businessman. How do you explain the best economy in years under Donald Trump?
Yeah, explain that.
That was carried over from Obama.
You're not the only person, Tony, that has told me, oh no, this is all stuff that Obama kickstarted. All right, so I get it. Maybe that's just an easy scapegoat, but the gas prices were lower. The economy was way better. The job markets were better. All right, and that was 4 years of Trump. You're saying Obama affected all the way into the end of Trump's presidency?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, Obama seemed like he cared more about the middle class than the lower class. All Trump cared about was the rich people and stuff. That's all he cares about. That's why he wouldn't help the poor people. He wouldn't help the middle class. He said, if you're poor, oh, fuck you. And that's what it is.
He actually said that?
You never seen him. He never gave money to charity. He never helped anybody who was poor. He just catered to the rich people all the time and stuff.
Tony,
And don't forget,
people
that Capitol riot when Trump, that you know
Oh
Trump.
God, so you're going to bring up January 6th, of course. All right. Are you forgetting about all of the riots and the protests that caused billions of dollars in property damage and dozens of people dying
You're
over
talking
the
about
summer?
the George Floyd protest?
All of them, all the BLM riots, all the Antifa riots that happened over that summer that were done at the hands of leftist-leaning people. You're going to talk about January 6th, Tony, but you're going to ignore all the stuff that happened prior to that?
Well, these people stormed the Capitol and stuff. They tried to storm the Capitol and cause damage to the Capitol.
But they were let in. There's videos of literally the guards letting them in.
And Tony, don't say that January 6th is worse than 9/11.
Never said it was.
I don't know. I don't think it's. Some people have said it, but I don't think Tony's that crazy.
I never even believed that for a sec, because 9/11 was definitely a lot worse.
But you're going to say January 6th was bad. I'm not saying January 6th was justified, Tony. I think the people who did engage in the violence at the Capitol should be prosecuted. I agree with you there. But do you also agree that the people who participated in all those riots and burned down cities all over the fucking country over the summer of 2020, should they have been prosecuted?
Yes, because that
Okay.
did damage property.
Great, honest answer. Now, what do you think about the politicians who actually helped bail out a lot of those criminals so they could keep doing it again?
Well,
including the celebrities that also did that, like Chrissy Teigen.
Didn't Kamala Harris participate in helping bail out a lot of those people, Greg?
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Isn't she the vice president you voted for, Tony?
Kamala Harris, yeah.
Yes. And what did Kamala Harris do, Greg?
Bailed out the criminals.
Hmm.
You gotta explain it to Tony.
I just don't like what the Republicans do, and that's why I'm not gonna like anything they do. Simple as that.
And
but the last video we did, Tony, we're talking about the woke curriculum in school. Which side is the one who brought that stuff into schools? Did Republicans bring that in, or did Democrats bring that in?
Democrats.
Okay. Republicans are the ones trying to do away with it. So you're saying you don't like Republicans doing away with that?
No, because Trump, because we have people like Trump.
Because Trump. Oh my God! Fucking Trump derangement syndrome, dude.
Oh,
Going
boy, here we go.
Going right back to Trump. We're talking to you about the people that are trying to take that woke shit out that you said you don't like, that you said you wanted to talk about why you didn't like it and why it shouldn't be taught in schools. Then you keep going back to, it's Trump's fault. Trump was not the one who put that shit in schools, dude. Good God. Trump derangement syndrome. In the dictionary, see Tony.
And let me guess, Tony, are you going to blame Trump for having a pencil dick?
Oh,
No.
good God.
No.
Okay.
Enough of that.
Look, I'm not saying Republicans are saints too. I've never said that Trump was a saint. All right. I remember when we did the 2016 debate video, Tony, and I showed you. Yeah, you remember how I showed you how you actually believed more with Trump's policies than you did with Hillary's, and it still didn't stray your vote because of Trump's derangement syndrome. So, Tony, are you somebody who says that Trump was racist? What did you think about the quote when Donald Trump says, "If you're confused about whether you vote for me or not, then you ain't black"? What did you think when Trump said that?
I never.
Did you know that Trump said that if you have a problem figuring out whether to vote for me, you're not black?
I never heard that quote before. No, I never heard it.
Never heard that quote before. Of course you didn't hear it because it was actually Joe Biden who said it, dumbass.
Yep, Tony. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Okay.
It was Joe Biden who said that. You have a problem figuring out whether to vote for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Joe Biden said that.
What does that even mean?
In other words, if you voted for Trump, then you're not black. That's what Joe Biden said.
Oh, I get you. If you're white, you're gonna vote for Trump.
Now, there's another thing, all right? Didn't Donald Trump talk about how we need to segregate schools? Didn't Donald Trump say something like that in the 90s? Or wasn't that Joe Biden who talked about that? Oh no, we can't have them in here. It's going to be a racial jungle.
Oh, Joe Biden.
Joe Biden has been on record saying some pretty bad racist stuff.
And
Name
also,
something racist that Donald Trump said, Tony.
Trying to think.
think
You
harder.
can't. You can't.
I've heard people say he doesn't like blacks or anything like that. I've heard a lot of people.
Did you hear? But where's the quote? That's somebody's opinion. I mean, that was Joe Biden saying, "Oh, if you're black and you don't vote for me, you're not black." And then, of course, the big campaign started over there. In and out of shower depression.
And also, as I do recall, that he did call some legendary NBL players that play for National Baseball the N-word.
Oh, when did this happen?
I think it was during either last year or this year.
Okay, I couldn't confirm nor deny that one. All right. So going forward into this election cycle, all right, this midterm election. Now, historically, it often happens where the House changes during the midterms of the elections. All right. So do you think, Tony, that there is going to be a huge shift in a big Republican lead, or do you think it's going to be a shift in Democrat lead? What do you think?
Well, a lot of these immigrants are in the country right now. They're going to vote Democrat. It'll be a big leap in Democrat.
Okay.
I don't think so.
How can that happen if illegals are not allowed to vote?
Early voting.
Tony, you're saying it's going to be a blue wave. Greg, you're saying it's going to be a red wave. So why do you say that?
I guess you could say that people are getting really tired of the whole woke nonsense, old crap, and all that. Well, especially the Democrats that are trying to pander to the people that they're pandering to. Heck, even those people are getting really fed up with it as well.
So ultimately, what do you think are supposed to be the most important issues that people should be thinking about when they're making their vote? And this question goes to both of you.
Well, right now, I think people are just more concerned about the inflation than hearing some woke liberal crying about, I don't want my rights to be taken away. I would just tell them, dude, we got the inflation to worry about. We can worry about that later.
Okay. Tony, your thoughts?
Well, prices, inflation,
Okay. So we're kind of all agreeing that people should be thinking more of what can we do to combat the inflation? All right. What can we do to combat the rising gas prices? What can we do about that? All right. So another thing that we know that's causing all the supply chain issues and the reduce the amount of supply that we have in the country. All right.
right?
Tony, all right. Did you agree with Joe Biden when he basically was campaigning to end fossil fuels?
You mean like get rid of gasoline and everything?
Uh-huh.
I didn't care either way. I was neutral.
Well, you should have, because look what happened.
Gas prices went up.
He campaigned. He actively was saying they have a lot, not just Joe Biden, but a lot of people on that side actively going up and said, no, we're going to try to put an end to fossil fuels. We're going to transition into green energy. But there was no contingent plan on how to make it an easy transition. All right. So you're basically warning all these companies of, if this guy gets in office, then we can't invest more into oil productivity. We can't invest more into oil supply because this is no longer going to be used. When you have a president campaigning against it and then shutting down pipelines and basically making it really hard for any production on our end to help the oil price, whose fault is it for the high gas prices?
The president?
Boom. Still happy you voted for him?
I just wanted to vote. I just didn't like Trump. I wanted anyone other than Trump to win.
Good fucking God. That's not the question I asked you.
Jeez, Tony.
You didn't answer my question. You just admitted that basically the gas prices are largely in part due to Biden's policies. So are you happy you voted for Biden?
Yes, it's just one thing. Just one
because
little
of
thing.
Trump? What? Because of what?
Just gas prices were going to go up no matter what.
Why would you say that?
Because things get more expensive. They have to increase prices on everything.
But under Trump, we were energy independent. We were selling energy. We were exporting it instead of importing it. There was better productivity with our oils lines, better productivity with our diesel lines and our supply lines. All right. So under Trump, we wouldn't have had these shortages. The shortages are what's causing the inflation, dude. So you're still happy that you voted for Biden, even though Biden is partially causing the shortages.
You mean like shortages and... Well, yeah, I'm not happy about the shortages and that because people can't find anything. You know, at my job, people get pissed off.
They're exactly. They can't find stuff at your job, and they're pissed off because the gas prices are up. And again, you've admitted that Biden can be to blame on it. And you're still bearing down that you're still happy that Biden is in office. Waiting for your answer, dude.
Yes.
Why?
I can't say in the podcast.
Yes, you can.
Because I didn't like that my parents liked them because they kept getting on me about the job thing, and I wanted someone who wanted to win, so my parents would shut up about the job stuff.
Oh God, that's hilarious.
You're not adding that into the podcast, are you?
Tony, you're just proving it's not even that. It's just you're an example of millions of people who voted the same way because of the same mindset that you had. If we want to say that, okay, there was no fraud with the election, that Joe Biden is the most popularly voted president in history, we can agree. A lot of people thought the same way you did. They just didn't like Trump. They weren't paying attention. And those fucking Republicans are running the country.
Good.
Fucking Republicans and Donald Trump. I'm not mocking you. I'm just mocking in general. Okay? And there's no shame in admitting that, Tony, when you realize, okay, I fucked up, but you don't want to admit you fucked up. Are you genuinely saying that?
I fucked up, yes.
Good. Now we can say, okay, I fucked up. I won't vote for the same policies again. I'll pay more attention to what I'm voting for. Because a lot of people, Tony, were just like you. They didn't pay attention. Remember the line in Star Wars Episode 9 when General Hux is revealed to be the mole and the spy? Oh, I don't care if you guys win. I just want Kylo Ren to lose. I don't care if the Democrats win. I just want Donald Trump to lose. 81 million votes. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
That's called being an adult.
And when I was going to say that, oh, good, we don't have to kick in the balls if he votes for Biden again.
I haven't even voted for the midterm yet. I haven't even voted for the midterm yet.
I'm not saying that Republicans are the total saints. I'm not saying that Democrats are the devils in this thing, all right? But, all right, in the now, who was actively pursuing these policies that kind of kickstarted the inflation a lot worse than it could have been? You know who it was.
Yes, it was Biden.
Okay? So why would you vote for the same side that did that?
Because because when Trump was in office, my parents were constantly...
Trump's not in office, dude.
No,
Trump
when?
is not in office anymore.
When?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're talking about 2022. Trump's not president anymore.
Yeah, Tony, give her your head.
We're talking about right now, dude. Why would you vote for the same side? A lot of the problems.
Because anything to get my parents to stop getting on me for the situation I'm in. Because I feel like Donald Trump brainwashed Republicans. Brainwashed my parents.
God, still bringing up Donald Trump.
Republicans.
You're admitting that a lot of the policies that you don't like anymore were kickstarted by that side that you voted for, and you still want to keep voting for them because you want to piss off your parents. What? Are you in fucking high school, Tony?
No.
If you want to keep voting for those same policies, okay, power to you. Then stop complaining that they're bad. But you've been complaining that they've been bad. It's not even a Democrat-Republican thing, okay? I know you want to pinpoint it as a Republican thing, but it's not. It's like we said in the last video. When did defending children from being raped in school or going after the school board for covering up a trans kid raping your daughter, when did that become a right-wing thing?
Never.
It shouldn't be a right-wing thing. It should be a common sense thing. Any other points with this midterm election, gentlemen?
No, not really.
What about you, Greg?
Well, I can say that I think people on the left are really obsessed with racism and all that. Well, especially since I kind of heard that the Democrats are the ones that made the KKK.
Oh, but they switched sides, don't you remember?
They did not switch sides.
I know. I'm just mocking.
Are people on the left supposed to be like socialists or something?
There's basically a group of people on the left that they're true left with anything to the right of Stalin or Chairman Mao is right wing. Even if they're still liberal, even if they still believe in leftist policies, they still believe in abortion. They're pro-choice. They're pro-universal health care. They're pro a lot of socialized things. But if they have any right-leaning thoughts, they're right wing. So understand, folks, that when we talk about topics like this, all right, we try to come at it with honesty. It's based off information that we know, based off information that we hear. And at the same time, anybody who's listening to us, you are absolutely welcome to point out something that I said was wrong. Point out something that Greg said was wrong. Point out something that Tony said was wrong, which is pretty much everything he said in this podcast. Just kidding. All right? But we welcome all the comments. We welcome an open discussion because what we're trying to do is we're trying to at least show that we can have discussions, all right? Because unfortunately, a lot of people think that there is no discussion. There's people that don't want to hear opposing viewpoints, all right? And that's a problem. We have to be open to stuff like this.
Even though I can understand the people on the right can be really religious or something, you know, how they say that, heavy metal is St. China or something.
Oh, of course.
But it's like people on the left saying, everything is sexist, racist, misogynist, you name it.
Yeah, it's almost like their own religion and their own cult in a way. And I know, Tony, you're not part of that cult. So all we're saying is just be careful. Don't fall into it. And it's the same thing. I don't want to fall into a far-right cult. I don't want to fall into a fundamental religious cult, all right? We want to be free thinkers. We want to be able to have discussions. And ultimately, we want to vote for common sense. So that also, and if, as much as I hate politics, sometimes we have to pay attention a little bit.
I think the worst Republican president that we had so far, it was George W. Bush.
Well, and that's a good thing to bring up, Greg, because I notice it feels like there could be a big cultural shift. All right. We had the cultural shift during the Bush years when basically Bush was the establishment. And, you know, if you were anti-war, you were against the establishment. If you were anti-conservative, you were against the establishment. All right. So, and that's what, of course, led to the Obama years. All right. But then when you get enough of Obama, then Obama's side becomes the establishment. All right. And then even as Trump was in office, you still had a lot of the establishment continuously implementing a lot of the stuff that we're now, people are just now waking up to. So that's why I think there's another cultural shift that's about to happen. As you both are pointing out, Tony and Greg, people are fed up with the woke bullshit. People are fed up with the gas prices and all the other inflation-related bullshit. People don't want to be in a war against Russia. They don't want to be involved in a war with Ukraine.
Yep.
So that's what's leading to the shift. Ultimately, guys, what are we trying to vote against? We're voting against more inflation. We're voting against fuel shortages. We're voting against high gas prices. So we're not raging for the machine. We're raging against the machine, which is something the guys in that band can't really say they're doing anymore. Instead of fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, it's fuck you, you do what they tell you.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So gentlemen, even with my voice being hoarse, all right, it's been a fun discussion. Those of you who are listening to us, if you want to continue the discussion, whether you agree or disagree, please leave a comment in the below. And you can also join our Discord server, and you can also chat with us directly. So that's it for today, gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming. Happy Halloween. Enjoy your time eating candy. It might be the last time you ever get to do that. But I'm Desert Cow 22. Thanks for listening.
And I'm TTburger88. Peace now as well.
And I'm Timber Wolf. See you later.